What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another football commitment podcast brought to you by TarHeelIllustrated.com. I'm THI staff writer Jacob Turner, who joining our director of football recruiter, Miss Deana King. And Deana, this is a little bit of a switch up because, we don't get to hop on podcasts very often together. So I'm excited to do this when AJ's out of town. For those who don't know, so. He'll be back a little bit, I believe, early next week. But I guess I'm on call for any commitment pods that come up. And Deana, I think we knew one was going to come with all the activity around Carolina recently with visits and everything like that. And Carolina did end up getting a commitment earlier on Wednesday from 2024 inside linebacker Ashton Woods, 6'3", 205 pounds, attends Walton High School in Marietta, Georgia. 19th commitment for the Tar Heels in 2024, 5th from the state of Georgia, and their third 4-star in the class. Also interesting, which we'll talk a little bit about later. It's a third linebacker commit for 2024 for Carolina as well. So I'll ask you about that a little bit later, Deana, because it seems like that's a position they're definitely going after pretty hard. But before we dive into that, what can you tell us about Ashton Woods, the 4-star linebacker out of Georgia, and what the Tar Heels are ultimately getting in him?
He has been on Carolina's recruiting radar for a while. He's been to Chapel Hill several times. He was there when they had that big recruiting weekend back in March that several of them were at the Duke basketball game.
Mm-hmm.
Took his official visit to UNC back on the weekend of June 2nd. Also visited Baylor and, Wake Forest. Both of those schools were some of his finalists. So just basically decided on North Carolina today. I know it's kind of a dreary, wet, kind of cold day in North Carolina, but it's bright and sunny, and a lot of smiles in the Keenan Football Center because they got a great football player out of the great state of Georgia. I can't say how much that is, that's one of Coach Brown's biggest things in the footprint, getting Georgia kids. And he got Ashton Woods, who you mentioned plays at in Marietta at Walton High School. It's the same school that Marcus Allen played at. So they're building a little pipeline down there. Great football player. I mean, when you think about inside linebackers, his stats backs it up: 125 tackles, 5 sacks, 12 tackles for loss, and he has an interception. So he's what you like for your inside linebackers to have, and he's got the great frame, and he wants to hit. And as me and AJ talked earlier, when they got their other linebacker commit, Truslaw, vicious, violent, big hitters. That's what Carolina needs, and they're going after some kids like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely what you want at that linebacker position. No doubt. It kind of reminds me who they have there right now with Cedric Gray and Power Eccles. Kind of you just describing those commits kind of described them as well. So definitely a profile the Tar Heels seem to like and seem to be continuing to go after. Deana, last thing I kind of want to talk about in regards to I guess him in the class, as I mentioned it earlier, but third linebacker commit in the 2024 class for North Carolina, Cruz Law and Evan Bennett being the other ones. Seems like a position they're definitely targeting. I know you and AJ have talked about it a little bit. So are you at all surprised that they're going after a position like that? Because they seem to just be, racking them up down there.
Well, on the current team, linebacker has been depth at linebacker has been an issue.
Yeah.
For the last few years. Could also be this year. They got a lot of young, talented linebackers. They've got Caleb Lavallee from the class of 2023 coming in. Hopefully, Sebastian Cheeks is recovered from his injury that he had back last year. And then, getting 3 commitments at linebacker. And all 3 of them are, they can run, they can tackle, they make plays, and they're just they got a good instinct. So yes, it's a position that North Carolina needs to build depth in, and they got 3 really good ones in this class.
Yeah.
Ironically, 2 from Georgia and 1 from Nashville, Tennessee. So some good players.
Yeah, it sounds like it for sure. Last thing, Deana, I mean, I know it's been a last few weeks at least have been pretty busy for the Tar Heels with everything going on in terms of visits, commitment. Seems like you and AJ especially have done a ton of these commitment podcasts recently. Showtime camp and other camps coming up this weekend as well. So I guess the last thing I'll ask is it's probably not going to be the last commit we hear about. It doesn't seem like. Seems like Carolina will more than likely rack up a few over the next week or two.
Well, they've got. I've stressed this. They've got to replenish their wide receiver room, and they got some really good prospects coming in for their last weekend for official visits. I'll be posting that list a little bit later, but some of their biggest targets at wide receiver. They've got Michael Merdinger, their quarterback, who we've called him the ringleader of this class. He's going to be there, and he's going to have all these wide receiver targets there, and they're going to try to bond, and he's going to try to sway some of these guys to be Tar Heels. I mean, I think Mac stated in the press conference 13 official visits. Of course, some of them are already commitments to UNC, but majority of them are wide receivers. And so you look for that list a little later on this week.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Looking forward to being out there this weekend as well. It's fun to see the kids and see kind of what's going on recruiting wise for the Tar Heels in person for once, as so much as we do obviously is virtual in a lot of ways. So
we told people, June was going to be huge, and it looks like Coach Brown and the staff are wanting to get this class already so they really can focus on 2025 when the season starts. They want to have this wrapped up.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense too. If you can get 2024 wrapped up, you can look ahead. And again, Carolina's on its way with getting their 19th commitment today from 4-star inside linebacker Ashton Woods. Deana, I guess that'll go ahead and do it for us. I'm done impersonating AJ for the day, so we'll go ahead and hop off of this podcast.
Oh boy,
and move on.
But like you said, when he goes off, things happen.
Hey,
so
never
guys
fails.
expect more stuff coming going to happen.
Oh yeah, if they knew AJ's schedule, they'd know when to be on the lookout for commitments. That's for sure, because it really never fails, Deana. So we'll go ahead and get the heck out of here. I've been Jacob Turner. She's been Deana King. Another episode of the Tar Heel Illustrated podcast. This one obviously being a commitment, and another one for the Tar Heels. Appreciate y'all watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell as well, so you know every single time we upload. See you on the next one. Thanks.